Every era has its frontier. A line between what is and what's next. We've played the game, built the legends, carried the weight. But this is different. This is where the game leaves the ground. No limits, no ceiling. No looking back. This isn't the next season. This is the next frontier.
Happy 4th of July, everyone, from Edmond, Oklahoma. We've got the AUSL on ESPN on back-to-back nights, and it's an important series, too, in 98-degree Oklahoma. Megan Grant trying to turn things up for Portland. They've lost 2 in a row, but look out. Oklahoma City, fresh off a win, snapping a 5-game losing streak, welcomes back one of the best players in the world. Maya Brady makes her return after missing over 4 games. Alongside Amanda Scarborough, I am Chucky Kemp. Anna Camden joins us shortly down on the field. Amanda, this is such a big game because these two teams separated by just 2.5 in the standings, chasing the top 3, but here comes Maya Brady to try to save the day.
This is a big deal for the league and for the Spark, who are fighting for a position in the postseason. The way that Maya Brady started out the season, she was without a doubt the best player in the league, not only for what she was doing up at the plate as a leadoff hitter for this Spark team, but the way that she was playing center field and the defensive plays that she made were out of this world. 5 home runs before she got injured. She was driving in RBIs, setting the tone for this Spark team. They struggled, quite frankly, a little bit without her. So to have her back as their leadoff hitter, she will set the tone for this offense as the most home runs in the league.
She missed 4 full games and the majority of a fifth, so just 1 in 4 in those games. After a 5-5 start, they were also hitting 16 home runs in those first 10 games. The number's down a little bit, and even though it looks like they've hit a decent amount in the last 5, they've hit 2 in each of the last 3 games, so had a little bit of a drought there. Corby Otis starts it off for Portland against Maya Johnson, the rookie out of Belmont. So from one Maya to another, the left-hander has been a workhorse. 31 1/3, that by far leads this staff, who has had reinforcements come in over the last 10 days from Japan. But it's still Johnson who they seem to trust the most.
Yeah, since she started opening day, she has had really strong start after strong start. This is a Spark team that started out with 5 rookies on their pitching staff, and then they got 3 veterans, as you mentioned, who came back from the Japan Diamond League. But Maya Johnson had been the ace up until those players came back, giving her the ball in an important game 1 of the series.
Ball 1 to Otis after she swung at the first 2 pitches, behind in the count 1-2 as we look at the Cascade starting lineup presented by Easton. Look out for the 2 spot. Megan Grant, 6 home runs, tied for the league lead. The record set last year was 9 by Morgan Zirkle. Megan Grant has plenty of time to chase that number down.
Her and Sammy Williams. Sammy Williams, who plays on the Bandits, are at the top of the league right now.
Bandits Volts have a 3-game series this weekend, but they are currently in a weather delay in Rosemont. That game is slated to start around 8:05 Eastern time. That's another one to keep an eye on, because with these 2 teams in the hunt, the same is said for Carolina and Chicago as Otis goes down on strikes.
Maya Johnson has really learned to use the bottom of the zone as a pro in the 3 weeks that she's been pitching here for the Sparks. So this is going to be a drop ball that she gets Corby Otis to chase out of the zone on. Her drop ball is her most used pitch, followed by her screwball that will move away from a right-handed hitter and into a lefty like Grant.
Now the lefty-lefty matchup with Grant against Maya Johnson. 2 of the 17 rookies selected in the college draft this year. Portland has 4 of them, more than any other team. Both of these 2 teams are really young. You look at the top of this Portland order, though, their top 4 specifically, 3 rookies and a second-year player in Corby Otis.
I remember we talked about Megan Grant and how well she handles the bottom of the zone with drop balls, and you can see how much the outfield respects her. Harper, Bubba Nichols, Camarena, and Jenkins playing really far back against the wall.
The only place Amari Harper could go now is the bleachers in left field to try and make a play.
Oh, we've seen Megan Grant hit one 313 feet and her first pro home run.
And her second one was almost 300 feet. So her first two traveled over 600 feet combined.
We have the two hitters in the league that have hit the furthest home runs so far this season, because Maya Brady hit one that was 310 feet in Chicago, both coming from UCLA, of course.
3-2 to Grant. She got it into the alley in right center field. It's going to be extra bases for the rookie out of UCLA. Megan Grant is starting to figure it out in a big way at the professional level.
And I think a big reason for that is just she's understanding the strike zone, getting comfortable with this slightly wider, slightly bigger strike zone as a pro. This is a drop ball that stays up a little bit, and she just stays on it. Even though it was a little bit off the end of her bat, that ball was still hit at 73 miles an hour. She is so strong. Extra bases for Megan Grant.
Now, 8 of her 10 professional hits have gone for extra bases. 6 home runs and a couple doubles. She is maybe the most important piece of this lineup, trying to get this offense going that ranks in the bottom of the league in the majority of the major offensive categories. Kenleigh Cahalan, another one that they feel like there's more in that bat than they've seen so far. She was starting to heat up, had a 5-game hit streak, but it was snapped last game. Johnson spins and goes to first, and there's 2 outs.
I like the idea, though, of using a little bit of the short game that came off of her bat a little bit firm, but Cahalan has some good speed. If that was a little bit softer of a bunt, not only would it have moved Megan Grant to third base like she executed there, but it would have been able to get her on as well. I want to see this Cascade team use a little bit more of their speed and a little bit more of their short game.
Here is Sydney Stewart. Stewart, fresh off her first professional home run, finally put one where no one could rob her. Maya Brady is not in the field, but she took extra bases away from Stewart. Jada Coleman has taken extra bases away from Stewart. Ground ball left side for Sid Romero. Throws across, and it's a clean first inning for Maya Johnson and Oklahoma City. Big game here in Edmond today. Maya Brady leads it off when we come back. The AUSL is sponsored by Franklin. Well, she is back. Maya Brady missed 4 straight full games, the majority of a 5th one. The Spark have struggled in that time. She returns today to try and get it going again for OKC. Nothing doing for Portland in the top of the inning. Brady leads it off, top 3 in the AUSL in batting average, OPS, and still in runs despite missing that time on the 7-day injured list. Sydney Romero has been on fire too. Sid McKinney is playing her first game with Brady here because she came back from Japan recently and Brady had been out the whole time. That's a duo that OKC fans were probably really excited to see this year. Brady first pitch swinging. Sis Bates makes a nice play. And that is exactly the start that Kelly Maxwell would have wanted in the circle. Maxwell 1-2 on the year, 5.73 ERA. This is her 6th appearance. 5 of them have been starts. We've seen her dominate, but it's been a little bit of an up and down season. Best outing came against the Talons a couple weeks ago, 6 1/3, got the win in that, and only gave up 2 earned runs. And on 2 pitches, we have an out and a hit by pitch as Sid Romero's on.
Yeah, and I think that this is an important start for Kelly Maxwell for herself as an individual, but also for this Cascade team. They got roughed up, quite frankly, against the Bandits in their last series in Chicago before they headed here into Oklahoma City. And Kelly Maxwell did not pitch in that series. She did pitch in Texas and only made it through 2 innings, but she's been working to figure out a few things mechanically. Her confidence is growing. And even though she only lasted 2 innings in that Texas game, to me, with the pitcher eye, she looked better with her movement and swings and misses up in the zone with her rise ball and just being able to get her body more aligned and on her power line to figure out her speed and movement better.
Another lefty in the order, Sydney McKinney. Just become a professional superstar. She was in college too, but played her college ball at Wichita State, so might have flown under the radar just a little bit, even though she was still one of the best players in the country as a shocker. Ground ball left side, quick flip to second, and they know they won't get McKinney, but there's 2 outs.
Next to the plate for this part, the catcher, number 97, Delaney Wiz.
Kenley Cahalan, she is a character on the field. And you pair her with Sis Bates in the middle of that infield, and you know they have a lot of fun. Here's Delaney Wiz, takes strike 1 from Maxwell on a 3-game hit streak. She's had an extra base hit in each of those. Pair of doubles, a home run, and she's driven in 3. Had a solid year last year, hit 284, but she's already surpassed last year's home run total. She's tied their RBIs total from last year, as well as her doubles. Five home runs is just 1 off the league leaders in Sammy Williams and Megan Grant. Behind in the count 1-2. There's a chance Delaney will be relieved of some catching duties due to a roster move recently made in which the Spark picked up Sarah Gordon, who had spent the majority of the season with Utah. Wiz goes back up the middle, kisses second base on its way through, and it's first and second.
Good job by Delaney Wiz getting this drop ball that is left elevated in the zone, able to just hit it where it's pitched.
This offense has started to heat up over the last 3 games. They've scored at least 4 runs in each of those 3, 19 total runs in the last 3 games. Desperately needed the win they got over Carolina a few days ago. They had lost 5 straight prior to that. This is lifted to center. Falby going back. It's off the wall, and Oklahoma City is going to score a run. They'll hold Wiz at third base, but Amari Harper starting to heat up. Just hit her first career home run a few days ago and nearly does it again.
Well, this is on a changeup that Amari was able to recognize. So Kelly Maxwell takes about 7 miles an hour off of this pitch, and Amari Harper is still on time with it. Hit that almost 230 feet. Kendra Falvey, I thought, was going to have a chance to track this down, but just out of her reach.
As crazy as the race is for those, it's really the second and third spot as it stands. Utah is not guaranteed the top spot, but until someone really starts to make a push, it feels like the Talons are almost penciled into the playoffs. But what could really throw this into even more craziness is Oklahoma City winning tonight and then potentially winning tomorrow. Regardless, it's going to come down to the wire. But there are 3 teams currently with 8 wins. Blaze, Cascade, and Bandits. The Spark are right behind those 3 with 6. For the Volts, it's a huge weekend. They have 2 games in the next couple days against the Bandits, so almost must win both of those. But you see Blaze, Cascade, Bandits, Spark. That is tight.
Yeah, the last 10 games, Oklahoma City Spark are just 3-7, so they've fallen down. They were more toward the top with the Talons and have struggled here in the last 10 games. Blaze beat the Talons last night. That was a big win for the Carolina Blaze. They'll play again tonight after this one.
3-2, Bubba Nichols, Camarena into left field. This time they will send the runner from second. The throw, not in time. A great slide from Harper to get in safely. It's a 3-0 start for OKC.
This is what the Spark did the other day as well. They're so good at scoring with 2 outs and getting hits with 2 strikes. This is when you know that an offense is really rolling, generating runs with 2 outs. And Bubba Nichols, Camarena just so strong, able to flare that out to left field. And Amari Harper, you're right, just had a great slide to go around the catcher, be as small as she possibly can to the backside. It looks like the Cascade, though, are going to ask to challenge this.
Sydney Stewart talking to Kelly Maxwell, trying to get the pitcher settled down back close to where she played her college ball, both in Stillwater at Oklahoma State and then finished at Oklahoma. Scott Mayer listening in to the replay official. Mayer, Carlos Guzman, and Emerus Addison are umpires tonight.
Yeah, I think that she's safe. I think this call is going to stand.
It is closer than I thought it was going to be before we saw the replay.
Review to call it as a safe. That's a Cascade first challenge.
Well, the gist of that is that the call was confirmed.
And every run that the Cascade give up this season is critical because you talked about how their offense is last in a lot of categories. They've struggled to generate runs. There's only even been so many times that they've scored 3 or more runs this season. So right now, Spark have already scored 3 in this inning. It starts to become a big lead against this Cascade offense.
They have only scored more than 3 runs on 4 occasions. 3 of those came against Texas. 1-0 count to Sydney Sherrill. There are 2 outs, still 1 on. Sherrill fouls it off herself.
As Spark offense is really starting to click. Sydney Romero has been a big part of this, but their batting average is up from their previous 3 games. They're starting to hit that long ball again, scoring more runs per game. I mean, the previous 3 games only scoring 1.3 runs per game. Look at their slugging percentage doubled.
Sherrill is hit by the pitch, and the inning continues. First and second. And the 3 games before their last 3, they had scored 4 combined. They had a 5-game losing streak. They scored 4 or more in 7 of their first 9 this season, and they've scored 4 or more in each of the last 3. Come out and talk to Kelly Maxwell and try and settle things down here. Both the head coach, Taraya Flowers, and then Laura Heberling, the pitching coach, right there talking with Maxwell and Sydney Stewart. It is hot, folks. 97 degrees, feels like it's over 100 here in Edmond, Oklahoma. You walk outside and it just feels like your body deflates almost.
Yeah, we got to the parking lot, it was 100 and it felt like 110 degrees. You can feel every degree of it too. And on that turf, this is an all turf field, by the way, both the infield and outfield. It's a little bit deceiving on the television because I think it looks like a real dirt infield, but this is actually turf that they're playing on, and that turf starts to heat up and makes it even warmer out there on the field.
True home field advantage here in Edmond, because currently Oklahoma City's dugout is very nicely in the shade and Portland is fully exposed on the first base side. So there is no escape for the Cascade, who play, of course, their home games in the Pacific Northwest. So it's a little bit different feel than when we were in Portland a few weeks ago. This is also a Portland team, Amanda, that just hasn't been able to get home. They've only played 3 home games. So this final stretch of the season after tomorrow night's game, they're going to go home for the rest of the year. And there's no team looking forward to seeing their fans more than the Cascade. And the only team they played at home this year was Oklahoma City, who they shut out in game 1 and then lost back-to-back to. This is just a 2-game series with the expanded league this year, 6 teams. Everybody plays each other 5 times. So some teams will get 3 at home, some you'll only get 2.
And they saw a lot of Sam Landry, a lot of Kinsey Brown in that series. So Kelly Maxwell was the probable starter for today, and she did indeed get the start. They only saw her for a couple of innings. And Carly Hoover is the probable starter for tomorrow, which the Spark have not seen.
Sam Landry has been warming a little bit. She is currently in the shade, but ready if they need her, as Lee goes down swinging. Maxwell strands 2, but Oklahoma City just the start they wanted on Independence Day. A 3-0 lead after 1. well beyond the halfway point in this 2026 AUSL season. 2 more teams, another playoff team, and even more drama that we are enjoying so much of right now. A 2-game series this weekend in Edmond, Oklahoma between Portland and Oklahoma City. It's the Spark who are off to a good start in a massive series in the standings. This is a team they are directly chasing in Portland. They cannot jump them this weekend, but they could come within a half game of the Cascade in the standings if they were able to win 2. Allie Newland leads off the inning against Maya Johnson. Haven't seen a lot of Allie, just her 2nd start of the year and 9th game played, but both times she started, she's been in the 5-hole. Saw her in game 3 against Oklahoma City. Takes strike 1 in the 3-0 count. She played 8 games last year out of the reserve athlete pool between the Volts and the Blaze. Hit .368, just 7 hits. This is in the air to shallow right. And Grace Jenkins runs in to make the catch.
Next to the plate, the designated player, number 77, Mia Davidson.
Mia Davidson steps up to the plate. Big power hitter out of Mississippi State, 5th-year pro. Another one that's been playing pro ball in Japan for a few years now. Set the Mississippi State and SEC career home run record with 92 in her career. And I'll ask you this, just down the road, there is somebody who is going to go into her sophomore year at the University of Oklahoma, Kendall Wells. Do you believe Mia Davidson will still be the SEC home run queen in 3 years' time?
No. I call it smoked. I just say it like that because the offense was so big this last season that it just almost seems impossible that record is able to continue on under the watch of Mia Davidson.
That's a big swing right there for Mia Davidson, who started just 1 for 15 since she got back. She's another one, and we go down the list. I feel like you could say this about 4 or 5 bats in the lineup, but it's a conversation you and I have had a lot. The pieces are there for this to be a pretty darn good professional lineup. It just hasn't happened yet.
Mia Davidson needs to get going, although this is just her 6th game because she was playing in Japan as well. But big one is going to be about figuring out the 5-hole here in the Cascade order. Tori Vidalis having an off day today, so she's not in the starting lineup. One that would be huge if her bat could get going.
Inside corner, strike 1 to Kennedy Powell. When you watch Portland versus, say, somebody, you just saw Chicago twice this week. What do you feel like Portland could do differently to try and elevate their own offensive game? And I say Chicago because they're getting production top to bottom, whether it's power or small ball.
Yeah, they're hitting .335 as a team. But I think it's being able to use their short game a little bit. Mentioned it whenever Kenley Cahalan laid down that bunt, but they have some speed, especially down at the bottom of the order. And I'd like to just see them put some runners in motion, put the ball on the ground, and using just a bunt for a hit, whether it's Sis Bates or Kennedy Powell or Kendra Falby, or we saw it from Kenley Cahalan before, but just try to cause some chaos. She shows bunt there and pulls back because that was got a ball off the plate, gets called a strike, but a tough one to bunt. Just would like to see them put more pressure on defense.
Well, check swing by Powell that fouls that ball off. It's a 2-2 count. Four-game hit streak for Kennedy Powell takes inside, full count. Pitch number 7. Powell softly into an awkward spot, and it drops. And the Pinch runner Ashton Maloney got a good read to get to second base. Let's go down to Anna Camden with more on the OKC pitcher Maya Johnson.
Tonight, when the lights of this field turn off and the last fan drives out of the parking lot, Maya Johnson will still be here. Not in the circle, but in the training room, doing everything she can to manage her lupus diagnosis. Since she was 15 years old, Maya has played with an autoimmune disease that causes extreme fatigue, high inflammation, and joint pain. And what most people don't see is the most important work she does comes after that final pitch is thrown. She told me she'll spend over an hour and a half in the training room after each game just trying to get treatment, icing her body down, and avoiding any spike in inflammation. And she said she's really grateful to have the veteran pitchers back from Japan. She's been able to have more off days and recovery times, and she actually feels better now than she did at the beginning of the season.
That makes sense because she threw a lot at Belmont this past season, and she did it her junior year as well. Led the nation back-to-back years in ERA, and even redshirted her freshman year because of some concerns because of her lupus diagnosis. So this is a pitcher who has just battled through adversity, but she wants to be out there. She loves softball. She loves pitching. It was her ultimate dream to get a chance to wear an AUSL jersey. And so for her to receive a golden ticket earlier this year at Belmont from Jessica Mendoza meant the world to her. And now here she is competing.
There was a special on Maya toward the end of the softball season in which she was asked about the opportunities because she did enter the portal to test the waters and said she turned down some big money to go back to Belmont and just said they gave me the opportunity, and so she stuck with the program that gave her the chance to play early in her career before anybody knew who Maya Johnson was. Belmont was the one that worked with her.
There's already so much to balance as a professional athlete, as a pitcher who is a professional athlete, just taking care of your body, getting in your bullpens, watching film, going over the scouting reports, and then you throw in this whole other dynamic of her having to take care of her health, and it just adds a lot to her. But she is just so dedicated and so strong-willed and minded to want to be out here competing.
Working against Sis Bates right now in a 1-2 count.
She had even said, I had so much personal adversity in my life that the adversity on the softball field doesn't even seem that hard. And you can understand that because when she gets into a situation like this, runner in scoring position, and she wants to make a good pitch, things maybe don't seem that hard to her, to where if she gets a strikeout with a runner in scoring position. Says she has a really good feel about her mechanics. She really understands her body and the way that pitches spin off of her fingertips, and she just has that body awareness because of her illness has led her there.
Led the NCAA with a .78 ERA. Falby up the middle. Sid Romero is there. Little glove tap for the rookie pitcher. 2 scoreless for Maya Johnson.
With the first pick, the Spark pick, Maya Brady.
Being picked first meant so much to me. I was honestly kind of more like, oh, this is a bragging rights thing because no one else in my family can say that they were a #1 pick. So I guess that was like a notch on my little like athletic board. I am truly excited to be in an environment where people love softball, and I think that's something that we all know about Oklahoma City. Last year I was fortunate enough to play under Coach Lisa, and now getting to play for another one of my coaches and with a lot of former teammates I think would be an awesome opportunity, and I love winning in blue and yellow, so it's always special for me.
Maya Brady, #1 pick. Hard to get one on the athletic board in the Brady family, but she said, hey, that #1 pick, something she's got over the rest of the family now. And she's certainly proven that she was worth it. Due up second this inning behind Grace Jenkins. Just an unbelievable athlete at UCLA. Played center field earlier in her career, then played shortstop, now center fielder at the professional level. There's also a new pitcher in the circle, another one that Oklahoma fans around this part of the country are very familiar with. Sam Landry out of the bullpen after just 1 inning for Kelly Maxwell.
It's just been tough start after tough start for this Cascade team. Sam Landry will come in for a long relief opportunity behind Kelly Maxwell, coming in already in this 2nd inning. She's been throwing down a lot. With her drop ball, will also come up in the zone with her rise, and will mix in a drop or a screwball and a changeup as well. Her drop ball has been her best pitch this year.
Fouled straight back by Grace Jenkins. Both Amari Harper and Grace Jenkins hit their first career home runs a few days ago in that win over Carolina. Jenkins trying to give Maya Brady something to work with at the top of the order. 3-2. Landry threw a complete game shutout in game 1 of this 3-game series. It was the only win for Portland, lost 2 of 3. Ground ball left side, scooped up by Powell, and there's 1 out. So Brady comes up 2nd time through the order, and it's just a different Cascade pitching staff. Their first 12 games, a 2.51 ERA, 28 combined earned runs. The last 2 games in Chicago, 20 earned runs.
The Chicago Bandits are hitting the ball the best that we've seen from last season, the inaugural season, to this season on any team that we've seen with the streak that they're on.
Brady through the right side. First hit since coming back. So she's 1 for 2 on the night now.
Yeah, gets on top of this drop ball, but just finds a hole on the right side for her first hit, getting back.
Sid Romero takes strike 1 from Landry. So many connections right now between players who played at Oklahoma. These two didn't play together. But this is a very familiar field as far as who is on it for these fans.
Yeah, we saw Jen Rocha in the game 2 days ago. She showed up with her daughter. She was going to be the Spark Batgirl. It was fun to see Coach Rocha at the game supporting this Oklahoma City team. And they were playing the Blaze, probably supporting them too. If you just know her, she's supportive of the league overall.
Yeah, she got to watch Alicia Ocasio pitch, who she actually was the pitching coach for at Florida before she joined Patty Gasso's staff at Oklahoma. 1-2 to Romero. That is a rare sight. Sydney Romero going down on strikes.
She's seen the ball so big coming into this game, but Sam Landry got her a couple of times on this rise ball chasing out of the zone. Good jump to that pitch, 7 inches of up break with that rise ball for the strikeout of Romero. And you know that Sam Landry wants to come out and have a better start. Her last start was one of those games against the Bandits where she got hit around a little bit, was one of those starts that just did not go very deep into the game, which is a bit of rarity for her. Her starts have been, she's been able to go deep into games, face hitters multiple times, go through the lineup multiple times. She's had really good stuff. That last outing that she had, you know that she was just itching to get back out into the field and show a new face.
Just 1 1/3, 5 hits, 5 earned. She has 3 complete game wins on the year. Landry couldn't get there. Bates trying to help her out, not in time. So McKinney is on, will likely go down as an infield single.
And Sid McKinney has some good speed. I think that the only way that they're able to get an out is if Sam Landry is able to stop this ball, which she has a great glove, but it just was out of her reach and in no man's land. So Spades doing everything that she possibly could. Even if Grant would have held on to it, she would have been safe.
Landry trying to get out of this now. Nice reach by Sid Stewart behind the plate. Helps when your catcher is 6'1". Delaney a single and a run scored tonight. Popped up on the infield. Cahalan wants it. Landry comes in to settle things down. Strands a pair. And it's 3-0 OKC after 2 innings. Sid Romero mic'd up. We'll talk to her when we come back.
Now, the merch trailer is located in Warrior Way, and today's boxing.
Sydney Romero has been a pitcher's worst nightmare really all season, just ripping the ball all over the field. We've seen that in this past week too. Oklahoma City leading 3-0 as we head to the 3rd inning. Sid Romero, not far from here, was a 2-time national champion as a player, 2-time national champ as a GA at Oklahoma, and just completed her 4th year as an assistant coach at Oregon under Missy Lombardi. We are joined live by Sid Romero. We are right in the middle of the season, Sydney. We are having a blast in the booth. How much different does it feel as a player with these 2 additional teams?
A lot different. Adding these 2 teams in it, it's been incredible. I mean, the expansion of this league is just growing, and I'm excited to be a part of another expansion team this season. So it's been pretty cool to see what we've done. Yeah, mine.
Corby Otis leads off the 3rd inning, top of the order against Maya Johnson.
Sid, what's it been like for you to be back in Oklahoma this season?
It's been nice. It's been cool to see old fans that I saw at OU come show up to these pro games and be able to just, support professional softball here. It is a little ways from Norman, but it's really cool to see old fans that I used to see here showing up for us. So it's exciting. Yeah, Mai, here we go.
1-2 count from Maya Johnson. outside ball too. Sid, we talk all about the race and the top 3 and all that. How do you guys kind of deal with that while also trying to stay in it every day?
We have nothing to lose. I mean, I feel we're all old enough and mature enough to understand, you know, the position we're in, and everybody here wants to win, and we want to win too. So the only way to do that is to show up and do your best and win. So at the end of the day, we know exactly what we're in for, and that's what we're fighting for. Yeah, Mike!
Sydney, you have a chance to play for my former coach, Coach Jo Evans, where I played for her at Texas A&M. What is your favorite part about playing with Coach Evans?
I feel so much like calmness when I'm around her, and as an athlete, that's so important, and I feel like she brings such just a mellow confidence that just really allows us to play freely. And when you look at her right now in the back of the dugout, like, she's just amazing. Anytime anybody asks me about her, I'm always like, I love her. She's definitely just an amazing part to this team.
Another foul ball by Corby Otis. This is kind of a ridiculous question, Sydney, but your exit velocity this year and specifically in these last 4 games has been off the charts. Over 71 miles per hour on your base hits. What is going on with your approach at the plate?
Truthfully, my training in the off season. Go! Grace! Good! My training in the off season has been pretty intense, and shout out to my trainer, Molly, who has done a great job with getting me stronger. And I feel like I've really prioritized getting strong, and just that helps my exit velo. So really just getting strong. It has nothing to do with my hitting. It's my strength.
Do you feel different?
I feel a lot stronger for sure. I feel like Megan Grant. I do. I mean, she obviously hits the ball really hard. So that's what I feel like when I'm hitting.
And here she is, Megan Grant.
Yep.
1-0 count.
Yeah, Mom! I have to play grass line with her. Good!
Why is that?
She hits the ball so hard. I want to range it out. I mean, a lot of her balls are hitting the air, but when she does hit it on the ground, I'd rather her beat me in front than pass me.
How much information are you guys taking in pregame about each hitter?
A lot of it. Coach Jo does our defense stuff, and we have their tendencies, which is nice. We've been playing with a lot of these people for a long time, so we kind of have a good feel on them. Ball, but get out! Oh, go.
There she is.
Good job. I could breathe right now on that one.
So that's your former player there, Mari Harper, behind you.
I was so happy she heard me say get out, because we say that at Oregon, so I'm happy she heard me say that.
Love it. Thanks so much for joining us and making that great play, multitasking at its finest. Thanks, Sid.
Of course.
We're going to listen in a little bit to Sydney Romero the rest of this inning, but just an absolute treat getting to talk to the players in game. And of course, such a cool moment like that when Sid Romero, who's coached Amari Harper this year at Oregon, gets to call her off. No way you're letting her have that ball. This is hit well to right field. Cahalan, and no doubter for Portland. And the Cascade are on the board with their first run of the night.
They needed that so bad to get on the board, answer back after the 3 spot that the Spark put on the board in the bottom of the first. And they need this home run power. They need this just run generation in their offense. And Kenleigh Cahalan is completely capable of it. They moved her up to the 3-hole to hit behind Megan Grant. And it's for this reason. This makes a statement hitting behind Megan Grant that you have to pitch to her, because Kenleigh Cahalan is seeing the ball big. And you know who else is getting hot too with a little bit of power is Sydney Stewart hitting behind her, who hit her first career professional home run not too long ago.
Takes strike one, nobody on with 2 outs. Let's go down to Anna with Kenleigh.
What point did you know it was gone, and what were you looking for at that at-bat?
at the at-bat, I was really just looking at something to drive, something in my zone to hit, and just work on staying on the pitch. And I never think anything's going. I just run no matter what, just in case.
Fair enough. Better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody else knew immediately.
Her and Megan Grant have become good friends, the two rookies that hit right next to each other. Actually, 3 rookies in a row in this lineup.
Stewart goes down swinging, so nice bounce back from Maya Johnson is still a good start from her, but Portland on the board.
Kenleigh Cahalan with the sweet left-handed swing off of the lefty. And Maya Johnson, she went down to get that. Kenleigh Cahalan, her second home run of her rookie season.
I'm Amari Harper, and it's time for some quick hitters. My confidence on the field comes from the people around me. It's been awesome to just work with the most amazing people throughout my whole career, and they really elevate my confidence. The person that I was most excited about being on the same team with was Jessie Warren. I've watched her since I was a kid, so just to learn from her, and I think it's going to be so much fun. If I could steal any skill from a player, it would be Maya Brady's power. She can hit the ball like no other, so if I had that, wow. Like, just wow.
And now she's teammates with Maya Brady, so maybe a few pointers on the power. She's just got to get in the weight room with her coach, Sydney Romero, apparently.
That's right. Maybe they can hang out in Eugene. I don't know what Amari's going to be doing after summer, if she's headed back to Eugene or somewhere else, but maybe they can work out together.
Well, she does have some pop, though. We've seen that in the last couple games. First career home run in their win over Carolina earlier this week, and then her first at bat tonight. She hit one off the center field wall. Still extremely hot here in Edmond, Oklahoma, but we are experiencing some cloud cover now. Amanda, I welcome you to the Midwest. 2-1, Harper fooled by that pitch at 53 miles per hour. And Sam Landry injects some calmness at the bottom of the scoreboard.
She's going to a rise ball a lot today. It's giving them maybe a different look than what they saw against her in her first outing against them, whenever she threw against them in Portland, where she really relied on that drop ball a lot, going up in the zone with a nasty rise.
Harper went up and got it, but just foul.
Good adjustment by Amari in at bat on that changeup. Remember the swing and miss where Amari was way fooled by a changeup that was on the inner half, and to be able to fight that off with 2 strikes is an in at bat adjustment against the same pitch.
About to see the 7th pitch of the at bat from Landry. Sam wins the battle. Brought it at 69 miles per hour on that pitch. Tomorrow, an AUSL double feature. First up, Volts face the Bandits at 1 Eastern on ESPN. Tonight's game's supposed to start soon, but weather pending. And it's Cascade Spark, 9 Eastern on ESPN. That's part of Women's Sports Sunday, right after Las Vegas and Indiana in the WNBA. Big day for the sport of softball.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I've been looking forward to that Sunday night for a long time. I can't believe that it's already going to be tomorrow.
We are well under the 3-week mark as far as time left in this season. We're actually almost just 2 weeks away. Oklahoma City plays their final game on July 20th. Bubba Nichols Camarena slices one to right, and Allie Newland makes the play.
And everything pushing toward the very end of July. It's hard to believe that it's already July 4th. It's been an awesome day of celebration. We're supposed to have 3 games today, but everything, all these games leading up to the end of July, where the top 3 teams are going to head to College Station and get a chance to play for a championship.
Sydney Sherrill just missed painting that line in left field. Last year, the championship held in Tuscaloosa. This year, we're going to College Station, and it's a little bit different. Top 3 qualify for the postseason. The play-in game will be on July 23rd between the 2 and the 3 seed for a shot at the number 1 seed in the championship series that starts July 25th. That's a best-of-3 series. Talons beat the Bandits last year. 2 more teams this year, and just so much more drama in the build-up to that right now.
Yeah, everything is just so close in the standings, just trying to secure one of those top 3 spots. As we mentioned before, I mean, Talon's looking really good. They're playing so strong right now, just tough to beat. Their pitching staff is the best in the league, with Georgina Korick and Montana Fouts and Megan Fremo. I mean, their pitching is so difficult to beat, and then you get this run production from their new faces in Jada Coleman and Brie Ellis, who is having a much better 2nd year as a pro. And I mean, they're just incredibly tough to beat. Their defense is looking good. Everything about them is just on right now.
Yeah, Savannah Jaquish, part of that double play the other day, playing second base. We've seen Savannah behind the plate and at third. She was at second base on that really special win over the Volts. Here is Sis Bates. It just got over her glove. And Sherrill is going to take second. Should be a double for Sydney Sherrill.
Yeah, and right before the pitch, Sis Bates took a lean or a step up toward the middle of the field, and then Sid Sherrill was actually able to beat her. This is off the end of the bat, but look at see how that last step, she's kind of leaning toward the middle of the field, and because of that, that ball is able to sneak through the infield on an end of the bat hit off of a changeup. But still, another 2-out hit, 5th 2-out hit for the Spark today.
Another Sooner at the plate, if not for a brief time. Haley Lee. Fouls that back off Landry and falls behind 0-2. Lee, we saw a few days ago with her first extra base hit of the season. She's just been desperate to get going. You could see the relief on her face. She struck out her first at bat tonight. And now in a tough 0-2 spot against Landry.
Last 3 games, Cascade have given up 8 runs in the first inning. So going back to the Bandits and then the Spark game tonight. And it's just been tough hole for them to dig out of, because in that 2-game series against the Bandits scored in every offensive inning. And then you roll in to here and boom, the spark score in the first inning. That 0 that Sam Landry had put up in the second inning was the first one in a while for the Cascade.
Lee just over the bag at third. Long throw, and it's a great hustle from Haley Lee to beat it out. Or no, they're going to say it's a foul ball. It didn't look like there was an indication down the third baseline, but the home plate umpire said foul ball, so Lee comes back.
Another changeup hit off the end of the bat. Looked like it crossed the bag to me, but you're right, home plate umpire calls it a foul ball. That looked like a fair ball to me.
So Haley Lee, who had an infield single, has to come back and try it again. Fouls it up and out of play.
But think about, Chucky, just to continue that conversation about all the runs that Cascade were giving up. It's no surprise to me Sam Landry puts up a 0, and then Portland hits that home run to get on the board. Just their strength is their pitching for this entire season, but their strength has not been their pitching for the last 3 games. And I think that you felt them really struggle, just kind of fight themselves, trying to navigate their way through this tough part in their season when their starting pitchers have not gone deep into games.
Nice at bat from Lee to keep the inning going. First and second with 2 outs.
Next to the plate, right fielder number 8, Grace Jenkins.
Peyton Gottschall, who is essentially only a reliever for Portland, has been working out in the bullpen a little bit, staying loose. Landry now facing the 9-hole Grace Jenkins, who grounded out. She was the first one to face Sam tonight. (2-0). Jenkins played her final college season at Arizona. Sydney Stewart, the Portland catcher, was her teammate. And the reason Grace, who was a fantastic catcher for the majority of her career at UConn, moved to the outfield for Arizona. And then on back-to-back nights the other day, Jenkins against Carolina hits her first career home run. The next night in Chicago, Sydney Stewart hits her first career home run. It was a good couple days for the professional Arizona Wildcats.
This is just such a critical at-bat with Maya Brady on deck, and Sam Landry falling behind, 2-0, 2 quick outs, and then Sid Sherrill had a great at-bat. Haley Lee had a great at-bat to put together this little 2-out rally. So Marie Heberlein wanting to go out and chat with her battery and make sure everybody's on the same page. They do not want to have to face Maya Brady in this inning.
Jenkins ahead 2-0. 3-0, and they certainly don't want to face her in a situation with the bases loaded. There's strike 1. And Jenkins walks, so here comes Maya Brady. As dangerous as you could ask for. 5 home runs, second highest total in the league. Still the 3rd best run producer on this team, despite missing almost 5 complete games. And despite being in the leadoff hole this whole year. Sarah Gordon, the newest member of Oklahoma City, will run out at second base.
very interested to see how Sam Landry attacks Maya Brady. She was not getting her screwball called to a lefty and Grace Jenkins, which got her in a hole and just kind of lost command of that pitch. It's a pitch that she's going to have to spot on the outside corner, about a ball off to Brady.
Brady swings first pitch and fouls it out. She had a 10-game hit streak to start the season before she only had one at bat in her final game played that snapped that. This is what she's done this year. She has hit a grand slam on this field in their season opener.
There's a screwball I was talking about. Just seems like the pitch that she must have against a left-handed hitter and a power hitter, and Brady, a pitch that will move away from her barrel. Drop ball was the first pitch that she threw to her and took a good hack at it, seemed to be on it.
Stewart keeps it in front, 2-1 count. Maya Brady could break this game open right here.
That is a pitch. That is a brave, courageous pitch by Sam Landry, who has been hanging out on the outside corner, these left-handed hitters at bat after at bat, to go inside with her drop ball and paint the corner like that. That will set up the outside corner or changeup.
There it was, off the knob at 55 miles per hour. Another 2-2 from Landry. Brady up the middle. She wins the battle. Gordon coming around from second, and she will score. Two RBIs and 2 hits in the game for Maya Brady.
Good piece of two-strike hitting by Maya Brady to take this drop ball and just shorten up, just poke it right up the middle of the field. And even a Maya Brady poke like that is 70 miles an hour off the bat. Comes through with the bases loaded for a couple of RBIs and an answer back after that Kaylin Cahalan home run.
$13 RBIs now on the season for Brady. Back tied for first on this team with Sydney Romero at 13. Romero lifts it to center. Falby going back. Sid Romero does it again. She is unstoppable right now. She's homered in 3 of the last 4 games. And she might be playing the best ball of her professional career.
Remember, they struck her out on her rise ball, on a rise ball in her last at bat. That was a hanging drop ball is what it looked like. It was right down the heart of the plate, maybe a little bit on the inner half, and Sid Romero just going up, looking to hit something hard. 70 miles an hour off the bat, 240 feet out of the ballpark and out of the reach of Kendra Falby. Maya Brady and Sid Romero, 1 and 2 in the order. Might be the best 1-2 punch in the league.
Let's go down to Anna with Sid Romero.
Sid, your team worked really hard for those runs, and then you just knocked it out of the park, finishing it off. What kind of confidence did that give you going into that at-bat?
I mean, my last at-bat, she got me, so I changed my game plan a little bit, and was still thinking early in the count, aggressive swings.
Okay, and what were you looking for specifically? What type of pitch did you want?
I was really looking for something more on just the inner half. I knew they were going to jam me in again, and yeah, really just trying to be on time for that.
Thanks, Sid.
Thank you.
Sid Romero, just such a professional hitter. And she talked about it. She said the off-season training was relentless for her.
She has been just hitting the balls so hard that actually Did again look like a rise ball, seeing that pitch of the hand of Sam Landry again, a pitch that she struck out on before, and that was on the inner half. So Sydney Romero learning from her last at bat and wanting to be a little bit more aggressive on that inner half, keep her hands above the ball better on that rise ball, and all of a sudden the Spark have 8 runs.
8-1 in the bottom of the third, and it forces another pitching change. Peyton Gottschall, third-year pro out of Ohio, played her college ball first at Bowling Green and then Tennessee. She is coming off the worst outing of her season in relief in Game 1 against Chicago. 2 2/3, 8 hits, 8 runs, 6 of them were earned. A week ago, you would have said this Portland offense is just looking for something positive, something to go their way. And they had some moments against the Volts. They had some clutch hits, especially in that Game 1 win. But now, you're probably feeling the same way about the pitching staff. They just need a few things to go their way to get back in a groove.
Well, and Chucky, all of this has been done with 2 outs. Spark are 7 for 9 with 2 outs. It was just not that long ago in this inning that Sam Landry got a strikeout and then a fly out to Bubba Nichols to start off this inning. But all the runs scored in this inning have been with 2 outs.
Gottschall gets ahead of Sid McKinney, 0-2.
Seven of their 8 runs in this game have been with 2 outs.
We showed a graphic earlier. First 12 games of the season, Portland's pitching staff had a 2.51 ERA, 28 earned runs combined in the first 12 games. In the last 2.5 games, they have allowed 28 earned runs. They have matched that first 12 games of the season.
It is just defeating because first half of the season, their pitching was their strength. It was how they were winning games, and would just score a few runs here and there and get some wins because their pitchers were just putting up zeros left and right every inning.
They swept the Talons. Held that team under 5 runs in 3 games. McKinney tags this into left center. Falvey can't track it down. And McKinney, with a ton of speed, is into second.
Another 2-out hit. That is their 8th of the game, and we're just in the 3rd inning.
It's their 6th consecutive base runner since the first 2 outs of this inning.
Number 97, Delaney Wade.
And it was started by 7, 8, 9, Cheryl Lee and Jenkins. Now to the cleanup spot. Delaney Wiz swinging first pitch. Foul ball. That went perfectly off the top corner of the wall. An eerie setting here because the wind that was pretty consistent, even though it was a warm wind, has really died down. In foul territory, Newland's not going to get there. Down to 94 degrees in Edmond. 7-run lead, Oklahoma City would love to hand Portland their 3rd consecutive run rule loss. Lost 13-3 and 11-3 at Chicago. Wiz takes outside. This Oklahoma City offense looks like the one we saw early in the season where you were thinking, well, this is probably going to be them and likely Chicago that would have the most 2 productive lineups. The long ball starting to fly again for them these last 4 games. Another foul ball off the bat of Delaney Wiz, putting together a great AB here. Has already extended her hit streak to 4 games. I think they're having fun in the OKC dugout today.
That foul ball brought to you by Bella Windows.
It's a tough couple of games for them there for a while, but figuring out their offense and scoring runs like this sure is fun. A lot of fun in that dugout.
Delaney Wiz wins the battle into the left center field gap. That will score McKinney. Wiz took a hard round at second, but stayed put. 7 consecutive 2-out base runners.
These at-bats have just been so gritty. Fouling off pitches, 2-strike hitting, not giving in, and even hitting good pitches. Like that pitch out of the hand of Peyton Gottschall is not a bad pitch at all. It's even off the plate. Look at how it's right below the knees, but it's just an at-bat that you've seen time and time again from the Spark team. They just don't want to get beat.
Every batter in Oklahoma City's lineup has reached at least once through the first couple trips in the order. Amari Harper hit by the pitch. She led the inning off with a strikeout.
Next to the plate for the Sparks, the center fielder, number 48, Bubba Nichols Camarena.
Bubba Nichols Camarena lined out to right field her first trip to the dish. She takes strike 1 from Gottschall. Bubba takes high for ball 1.
I think what ends up happening too is that one pitcher might have had a struggle, and then the next pitcher who pitches after her kind of struggles in that outing, and then it just kind of starts to spread through the rest of the staff. Like everybody starts to pitch maybe a little bit tight, a little bit scared, pitching not to give up runs, and I think that you're seeing that affect this Cascade team. So it's just a complete difference of what we saw at the beginning of the year with them.
Peyton Gottschall could barely get on the field in the first couple weeks of the season because the pitchers were going so deep. Gottschall was primarily a reliever. So we've seen more of her these last couple weeks. Tomorrow's starter will be a veteran Carly Hoover. So you feel like if anyone's going to settle things down, it would be someone like a Carly Hoover. Has so much experience. She's not going to be rattled by what's been happening. We saw her in relief the other day, but tomorrow will be her first start of this 2026 season. 2-2.
What a take. I mean, the way these at-bats that the Spark are having, they're taking close pitches, they're fouling off pitches that might be strike 3 and extending their at-bat. I mean, they're just time and time again being difficult outs.
How do you keep your guard up as a pitcher on these?
You just have to keep believing in your stuff. You do, and you have to attack each pitch with the max spin that you can put on it, the max speed that you want to be able to put on it.
Bubba trying to straighten one of these out. Otis gave that a long look, just desperate for this third out of the inning.
Not getting as many swings and misses as what we saw earlier in the year as well. I mean, everything is just a little bit off with this Cascade team.
Three-two. Bubba to left. Otis is back toward the track and reaches up to make the catch. Didn't quite get enough of it.
But it was a 6-run inning for the Spark. They put up a crooked number. Even after 2 quick outs, Maya Brady stepped up with the bases loaded, poked it up the middle of the field for 2 RBIs, and then Sid Romero came up with a 3-run bomb. What an inning for the Spark.
Wednesday?
On Wednesday, Jada Coleman stepped up and hit a go-ahead grand slam with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning, and that Utah field absolutely erupted. It gave the Talons the lead in the bottom of the 6th so that they could head to the top of the 7th and defend that lead like this. What a sweet double play turn by Savannah Jaquish to Hannah Flippin. That turn by Hannah Flippin, she made that look so easy. The stretch by Wyckoff. This Talons team, who won it all last year, new faces on the team, but this team is looking stronger than ever.
This is what they have done so far. 12-5, first in only 10 complete games, Amanda. There were 8 total in the league between all 4 teams a year ago. The Talons on their own have 10 complete games.
The Blaze did beat them last night, but a couple of games ago they got their rings for winning the championship last year, which I must say, they are beautiful.
Download Allie Newland leading off this inning. You know my favorite part of the rings there? It is the custom cut Falcon eye in the very middle of those rings. It's a custom diamond that is the eye of the Falcon.
And there's so many cool details to your point, like what you're describing, but words or phrases that meant different things to them. First AUSL champions ever. Last season was the inaugural season of the AUSL, but you see all the detail that is found on those rings that they get to always say that they were the first, and they're hunting. I mean, they want to defend that championship. You can tell by the way that they're playing this year.
See the caw on the inside bottom part of the band on the ring, which has become the rallying cry of the fans in Utah as Newland walks to lead off this 4th inning. That fan base has been unbelievable in Salt Lake City. It's hard to believe that this is the last home game for Utah tonight. They will hit the road for good. So those fans, I would expect a big send-off for the Talons.
Well, and 3 of those 5 losses that they have on the year came to the Portland Cascade, who swept them in Utah. So this, I mean, even that in itself goes to show you how competitive this league is, that anybody can beat anybody, because a team that is getting beat 9-1 has gotten run-rolled a couple of times, just having a tough go right now. Also swept the #1 team in the standings and did it in strong pitching fashion.
I mean, look at the run the Bandits are on right now, and guess who beat them last? The Volts beat them back-to-back games for 2 of their 3 wins on the year. It's a Texas team that's been so close to being right in this mix with the other 4 teams behind Utah for those top 3 spots. We will head to Round Rock, Texas next week. They'll take on the Carolina Blaze. That's a chance to see Nigeri Kennedy and Carlin Pickens potentially face off. Off the glove of Johnson to Romero. It's a double play. Oh my gosh. Maya Johnson, a nice little assist to Romero.
Now batting third baseman #1, Kennedy Powell.
Just threw up her glove for a little self-defense there, and it went perfectly to Sid Romero as she was moving that way toward the middle of the field, and Allie Newland expecting that ball to get through.
And if you are a Portland fan right now, you're thinking nothing will fall for us. Powell swinging and fouls it off, 1-1 count. How did you get out of it in college? Like, was there somebody on the team that would rally you? Was it Joe Evans with just a Herb Brooks-esque speech in the locker room? What was it?
Yeah, usually there's going to have to be some heart-to-heart with a coach, with your pitching staff, with your team. Usually I feel like that's what it comes down to, where maybe it's a 3-hour meeting. Like, there's Coach Evans there, played for Texas A&M, but we heard the Bandits talk about a 3.5-hour team meeting when they were kind of going through it, and they are now on this rally where it just seems like they cannot be beat, but just takes some, I think, hard conversations and a look in the mirror about how you want this team to play and how you're going to show up.
Well, they had a base runner, but it's basically a 1-2-3 inning after the unorthodox double play. big day tomorrow. Women's Sports Sunday, 7 Eastern. It's Indiana at Las Vegas. Fever Aces live on ESPN and Disney+. Watch it there or stream it on the ESPN app. And then stick around because we are back here in Edmond, Oklahoma for the Spark and the Cascade. Game 2 of our series on 4th of July weekend.
And there's our winner going home with the support.
An incredible year for the AUSL, just the second year of this league's existence. Hard to believe how much growth it has already enjoyed under the leadership of the commissioner, Kim Eng. 2 more teams. Viewership has skyrocketed as well.
Second baseman, number 24.
And the competition level is even higher. You've added in another 30-plus athletes to these 2 teams. The rookie class was really kind of the perfect moment for the expansion because there is so much talent added in. Peyton Gottschall trying to get a 1-2-3 inning, and then Portland will need at least 1 run to keep it going in the 5th. Or else they are in danger of their 3rd consecutive run rule loss. Sydney Sherrill leads it off. It was Sherrill who started the 2-out rally in the 3rd inning, in which they scored 6 runs. Into left field, Otis is over, 1 out.
Next to the plate, first baseman number 45, Haley Lee.
Here is Haley Lee at the plate with 1 out. 0 for 1 with a walk, had a really good at bat, but pops this up on the first pitch. And there's 2 quick outs for Peyton Gottschall.
Much needed. See if they can score at least a run in the top of the 5th inning. But I mean, I feel like we've seen this movie before. 2 quick outs, and then the Spark rally. They're 9 for 12 in this game with 2 outs. Eight of their 9 runs have been scored with 2 outs.
They have power 1 through 9 in this lineup. Grace Jenkins illustrating that earlier this week. Here's 2-out RBIs for them. First 15 games, 25 of them tonight. A lot more adding to the season total.
Well, they lead the league with the 22 home runs coming into this game. Chicago Bandits trying to catch them, though. I feel like with the way that they've been hitting, the Bandits are by far the hottest offense in the league, but the Spark right there on their heels in that category for sure with the way that they're swinging the bat the last 2-3 games.
Chicago started the season 0-4. Now have won 8 of their last 11. Jenkins into left. It's a base hit. And the second time Jenkins has been aboard. So here comes Maya Brady, and with more on her, let's go down to Anna.
Well, you can't sell this by the way that she's come back today and played, but before this game, General Manager Amber Flores told me that Maya's not 100% yet. They're easing her back in. That's why you see her in that DP position. But she said having her in this lineup brings a confidence to the entire roster, and so it's really big to have her presence there, even if it's only on one side of the ball.
I would imagine as her teammates, you just know that she's going to be on base. At least twice a game, Maya Brady is going to be on base. And a lot of times, she's going to be driving the ball into a gap somewhere or over the wall.
Just has such good or high softball IQ. You know, maybe she's not 100%. So being able to step up with 2 strikes in her last at bat with the bases loaded and just being able to hit one up the middle of the field. Wasn't a home run, didn't find a gap, wasn't anything fancy, but just her shortening up a little bit and driving in runs. I mean, she knows how to do it in a lot of different ways.
Takes strike 1 in the 3-0 count. Only played in 6 games last year for the Talons and still had 11 hits, a double, a home run, and 5 RBIs, and she will walk. Now, first game back after missing 4 full games and the majority of a 5th, and she's reached base 3 times. Sid Romero would love to do what she did earlier. A 3-run home run, her 5th of the season.
Look at her batting average approaching 400 at this point with how hot she's been. And that, a 400 batting average in this league is just so good. You're facing some of the best pitchers in the world, best of the best.
Five home runs this year. She only had 1 last year. The clutch one was the go-ahead in this game 2 of the championship series. It looked a little bit like this. To left field, it's off the wall. Just short, but Romero will trot into second, add 2 more RBIs to Sydney Romero's list.
The exit velocity hasn't been as high today. That was still 65 miles an hour off the bat, but she got enough of it. Looked like it had a chance to get out of here. They've been working her on the inside corner for the last 3 at-bats that she's had. A backdoor curveball up and in her hands, and it was a towering fly ball that Corbiotis tried to go back on, but hits off the very top of the wall. It just actually looked like a ball that Corbiotis could have caught if she would have gotten a slightly better beat on it. But 11 runs for the Spark and more RBI. It's now 5 in this game for Sid.
"35-7 is what Portland has been outscored by in their last 3 games.
It's tough.
Look at this. Oklahoma City with 2 outs. The previous 7 games, 8 for 38, but the last 2, 18 of 27. They have just dug in. It's a weird feel in the standings right now because Oklahoma City's on the outside looking in, but if you were projecting forward, they've got to feel as good as probably any of the teams right now. Otis can't quite get there. Chicago has a ton of confidence. Carolina just beat Utah last night, so they've got to be feeling good.
Well, think about how the first half of this season, for just about every team, it seemed like pitching dominated the story. But now, second half of the season, you can tell these bats are starting to get hot for just about every team.
Speaking of, Sid Romero up the middle, McKinney up the middle. Sid Romero scores.
You get a pass. There are 3 Sydneys that start on this team: Romero, McKinney, and Cheryl. They're a little confusing with the same name, as 30% of their starting lineup is named Sydney.
Couple Mayas, a few Sydneys.
Now, we'd seen Carly Hoover warming up earlier in the game, but I would imagine, they don't want to throw her today. They just want to start her fresh tomorrow. Maybe if Portland would have scored some runs, they could have made this comeback. If the game was close, then you bring Carly Hoover in. Kelly Maxwell, who started this game, is rewarming back up. She only made it through the first inning.
Whiz to Sis Bates, who basically blocks it like a catcher and finally ends the inning. 9 runs in the last 2 frames for OKC, and they lead it 12-1. The AUSL is sponsored by Franklin. Well, the young fans trying to stay cool, enjoying the ballpark, and likely looking for some autographs at the end of this one. It was a hot one. We have had cloud cover for about the last hour as Oklahoma City has just let it rain on Portland. 12-1. Kenley Cahalan's solo home run, the lone run of the game for the Cascade. And top to bottom, this Spark offense has just been a nightmare.
Yeah, 13 hits that they have in this game. 12 runs and no errors. In this game, they have earned everything. They have had gritty at bat after gritty at bat.
They have provided the fireworks on this fine Independence Day in Edmond, Oklahoma, alongside Amanda Scarborough, Anna Camden down on the field. I'm Chucky Kempf. Big thank you to our producer, Casey Carter, and director, Jordan Alvis. Sis Bates leads off the 5th inning. Portland needs not just one now, but 4 runs to keep this game going. Lindsey Grind back in. She's also back with this team. Departed very briefly when they got healthy, but was selected again out of the reserve athlete pool. And they have basically gone to 6 pitchers now as Sis Bates lines one through the left side. Her first hit of the night.
Next to the plate, designated player number 27, Kendra Falvey.
Grind is having an excellent season, though. In a rookie campaign, 2-1, a 1.47 ERA, 14 1/3 is actually the 2nd most innings pitched on the current pitching staff. That's inside ball 1. Let's go to Anna with more on Lindsey.
Well, a couple days ago, Amanda, you were wondering what Lindsey Grind did in between being called up, and I've got the answer for you. But she only got 23 hours at home. She first went back to Eugene to move out of Oregon, her college dorm, and then she went home, but she had 3 different flight delays trying to get home, specifically in the Chicago O'Hare Airport, which the 3 of us did not have a great day at yesterday either. And by the time she got home, less than 23 hours passed before she got the call that she was needed back in Oklahoma. She woke up at 3 a.m. the next morning, was on a flight, and now she's in Edmond with her teammates.
Quite the whirlwind, the life of a reserve athlete player right now, just taking any opportunity you can.
Well, you know, she wants to come out and just get confident again, get comfortable again back with this team. The last time that she came out, she gave up a grand slam, the first pitch, or the first batter that she faced, I should say. And we talked about how the Spark had an all-rookie pitching staff to start this season, and Lindsey Grind was a part of that, along with Ruby Malin as well. So she's had some really good innings, including against the Spark. When we saw her in Portland, she pitched very well against them and using her rise ball a ton.
These are a couple quality at-bats here from Sis Bates and Kendra Falvey at the bottom of the order. This lineup in general, too, when you talk about Portland's offense having struggled, they're not getting a lot of chances lately. As Romero makes a nice play to get the lead runner, but approaching 3 straight run rule losses. Don't forget, tomorrow, noon Eastern, Boston Legacy taking on Bay FC in the NWSL, presented by Ally. Watch it live on ESPN and catch it all on the ESPN app. NWSL action, the World Cup going on right now.
Must be making you very happy, all this soccer.
Well, I was going to ask, are you fully invested in the U.S. men's team right now?
I will be invested on Monday.
Okay, double play chance. Not going to happen. And who do they play on Monday?
They play Belgium. I do know that. I've not gotten to watch any of the games, but I've been following. I'm excited that we don't have a game on Monday and we actually get to watch.
Runner on first for Megan Grant. Grant 1 for 2 with a double. She actually doubled as the 2nd batter of the game off Maya Johnson, but was stranded on 3rd base in that inning. You see the 6 home runs think what Portland would like to do is have more runners on in front of her to get those RBI numbers up. A lot of their home runs this year have been either two-run shots or solo shots. And they've also hit the least, or the second least amount in the league. And the team below them is Utah, who plays on the massive field at Dumpke Family Stadium at the University of Utah. 3-0 to Grant. The potential batter that could keep this game going is still in the hole. So you'd have to go Grant Cahalan and then Sydney Stewart. As Grant takes strike one. In the outside corner, strike two to Megan Grant. This could be a great confidence-building moment for Lindsey Grine to put up a clean inning after what you talked about. One pitch for a grand slam the other night in relief. Megan Grant, though, deep to center, and it's gone! Absolutely blasted off the bat of Grant, who now leads the league with 7 home runs in her rookie season.
Trying to fire up her team after that 2-run home run. That went 270 feet. That was on a changeup too that she recognized at the hand of Lindsey Grine, and just able to get all of it on a full count. Sees that changeup up in the zone. And it takes Lindsey Grine yard, and that is going to be the 3rd run of the game for the Portland Cascades. Still down by 9, so it is the 8-run rule, but sweet swing up the middle of the field. You see that Megan Grant starting to use more of the middle of the field in these home runs. Her first 2 were to the pull side toward hard right field, and these past several that she's hit, being able to use more of the center of the field, and you can see that she's just getting more and more comfortable as the season has gone on.
Let's go down to Anna with Megan Grant.
Megan, we were both basketball players, and I believe that's what we'd call clutch. What was your mentality going into that at bat?
I mean, just chip away any way I can, get on base. Sis did a great job doing that for us, so I just wanted to return the favor.
You have so much intensity, more than any player, when you come back into the dugout after a home run. What's going through your mind in those moments?
Just compete as hard as I can, and you know, the game just brings out the emotions. So I just wanted to make sure that my team knew I had their back, and we can do this.
You've certainly got their back. Thanks, Megan.
Thank you.
This is lifted to left field, back to the track, and a great jumping catch by Amari Harper to end the game. That is Lindsey Grine's Oregon teammate helping her cause to finish off the night.
Thank you, Spark fans, for joining us tonight. The Sparks are back in action tomorrow at 8 p.m. for Military Appreciation Day.
Back-to-back wins for Oklahoma City in a massive week of softball in the AUSL.
Yeah, Amari Harper able to track this down for the final out. Hard to tell if that would have hit the fence or barely got out of here, but Amari Harper played that so well. She's been all over the field. You could play her in the infield. She's played the other corner out in right field, and now she's in left field helping out her former Oregon Duck teammate, and she had for a year in Eugene for the final out after a big Spark offense shows up to score 12 runs on 13 hits.
Let's go down to Anna, who is standing by with Maya Brady.
Maya, first and foremost, welcome back. How did it feel out there tonight?
It felt so good. I think it just felt good to do something other than practice and finally have a different opponent other than the machine or our own arms. So it was really fun, and I was just excited to get back out and compete with my team.
Your team had some really mature at-bats, even facing 3 different pitchers. Were there conversations in the dugout about how to approach the plate?
Yeah, I think just the conversation is can we get to the next pitcher? What can we do, with the starter and then the secondary, and can we bring in a third? And really just focusing on ourselves. I think at the end of the day, we know what we're capable of. I think everyone in the league knows what we're capable of. So taking this team down is extremely difficult. And I think we just got back to that, like reminding ourselves of who we are and who we have on this team and that we're a dangerous team. So I think just honestly getting back to the basics and just really leaning on each other.
And you picked up right where you left off, as dangerous as ever. Didn't miss a beat, but you did miss 4 games. So what was the process of getting yourself back ready to be on the field tonight?
Honestly, just really taking care of myself outside of the field with just recovery and making sure that I'm drinking enough water, sleeping a lot, stretching a lot, and just doing all the basics so that I can get back out here with my team, because I definitely missed it. And I'm just excited to get, you know, the rest of the season, you know, just kind of keep going. I think this is kind of where we're starting right now, and we said that it's a new season right now, and we're working to, you know, get in the top 3 and extend our season a little bit. So just really excited to be out here and continue to compete.
Well, go rest up. You've got another one tomorrow. Thanks, Maya.
Thank you.
It's a big game. She mentioned the top 3. I think everyone's aware of it, no matter what you want to say, and that is a huge win for the Spark, who with a win tomorrow could pull within a half game of Portland in the standings. Of course, the Blaze Bandits right in the mix too.
Yeah, Spark are just playing so well right now. Bandits are playing well. Everybody trying to find their team in the top 3 in the standings to get to College Station. And my gosh, I really can't believe the way that the Spark and the Bandits are swinging the bat right now. They are the hottest hitting teams in the league.
These 2 teams will be rooting for Texas because they want the Bandits to slow down right now in the game that has been postponed delayed due to weather tonight in Chicago so far. A lot more AUSL coming your way. 9 Eastern on CBS Sports Network. Blaze Talons final home game in Salt Lake City for the league best Utah Talons. For Amanda Scarborough, Anna Camden, and our entire crew, we wish you a happy 4th of July and so long from Edmond.